we must begin to develop, number one, and this is the most important thing we can do as a people. We must first develop an undying love for our people. Our people. Our people.
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter. So I'm forced to be...
When a man is being criminally treated, that some criminal has the right to tell that man what tactics to use to get the criminal off his back. When a criminal starts misusing me, I am going to use whatever necessary to get that criminal off my back.
I might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. Thank you for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend to tap in. This is Brian HRap B. Williams. I am the host of the End of the Bench Media Show, A Few Minutes with HRap. And today, what we do is put what I do, I hope I'm doing, is putting you in a position so you can help your great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. That's right, great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. Because the dream is not for now, the dream is for the future. We can no longer just live in the now. And that seems to, in my personal perspective, that is the problem. We live in the now, we don't live in the future. Until we start living in the future, we continue to struggle. Today is a few minutes with HRap, and it is basically, we got to stop doing that. Blackface, we're living in, some of us are living in blackface. And we try to disguise it as black pride. We try to disguise this self-righteousness. We try to disguise it as, hey, I'm trying to uplift my people. But if the only thing you see is negativity, when you see us or when you think of us, you are living in blackface. You don't love yourself, because there's no way in the entire hell you can look at yourself, love yourself, and assume that everybody around you is bad. See, we have allowed people to, I'm going to talk about people in suits today. I'm going to talk about people with multi-syllabic words. I'm going to talk about people who give half facts and half truths and present them as if this is what it is. And if you truly loved yourself, you wouldn't be in blackface. You would be black. Because when you see black, you see greatness, you see awesomeness, you see the ability to overcome multi-centuries, a multitude of things and multiple centuries of oppression, denigration, and disrespect. And you're still able to smile every day. So anytime you bring up something black, if you bring up the negative aspect of being black, then you are part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. Thank you for following me. If you want to see the rest of my work, you can go to www.theendofthebench.com, or you can go to the End of the Bench Media. I got to put that on the screen next time I come on air. The End of the Bench Media is also where you can find everything that I have. This is my website. I need you to go there, subscribe, engage, tell a friend to tap in. It is important. Thank you. Now, with that being said, I want you to continue to help me. Leave comments, hit like, hit share, tell a friend to tap in. As you already know, this is a program called A Few Minutes with HRap. All I do is uplift my people. I have one-on-one interviews. I have opinion-based pieces. I do panels in which we talk about the upliftment of the community. We don't need to discuss the problems of the community ever again, because we know there are problems of the community. We know things are not as well as they could be. We know that we are all working towards getting things to where they need to be. So we don't need to know the problems. We need to know solutions. And why did I pick this topic today? Blackface. Blackface is the caricature of us. This is when someone in or out of our community pretends to be us because they know how dope we are. If we were not dope, blackface would not exist. You don't see any other face on the face of the earth. You'll see people pretending to be anybody else, because when we show up, as we say in the community, we show out. Your favorite, you saw this in 1989 in a Spike Lee movie. Dude, Pedo was a open racist, and Spike Lee asked him, who your favorite rock star, who your favorite athlete, who your favorite this, and they were all black people. But somehow, some way, we've come to the point where, oh, that's back in the day. No, it's not. There are great black people doing great things every single solitary day of every single solitary year of every single solitary moment. And for the history of the world, it will be somebody black doing it great. And I want you to understand, stop identifying yourself with negativity. Why? I want to ask you, why do you make black a synonym for negativity? See, what we do is we allow these people who are in blackface, and I'm going to show you a few of them. They're going to be on the screen shortly. Some of these people who are participating in blackface, they're telling you, they're giving you half truths, which is a whole lie. Because if you tell me Malcolm Little used to steal, Malcolm X used to steal, Malcolm X used to rob people, Malcolm X used to sell drugs, Malcolm X used to pimp, and then you leave it right there. All of those things are true, but they are not who he is in his totality. So if you leave it right there, previous to him being incarcerated, you painted Malcolm X at the worst. Then he spent the rest of his life overcoming all those pitfalls, stepping over those pitfalls, sealing up those holes in his character, and became one of the greatest orators, one of the greatest motivational speakers, one of the greatest people in the history of our community here in these United States of America, as well as abroad. But if you only want to tell me the negative, then I have a problem with you always speaking about the negative. Yes, talk about this sister. And she's still a sister. She's a wayward sister. And she gives half truths. Talking about how black fathers are not married to their women. But if 50% of the population is in divorce, it don't make a difference if I marry my lady or not. But guess this is what she won't show you. The study that she said, black men are 60% more likely to engage in their children's lives. 60% more likely to engage in the rearing of their children, giving baths, taking care of their children, things of that nature. Why don't everybody want to talk about that? You only want to talk about what we don't do. You only want to talk about our blues. You don't want to talk about the rhythm that we give our children. So if we're 60% more likely to engage with our children and 70% less likely to marry, maybe that is a flaw, because you want the child in the home with both parents, because then you have an equal perspective. You have a feminine perspective and a masculine perspective pouring into this child, and it blooms into a rose. If you only have one perspective, in certain cases like my mother, my father died. So I had people like my Uncle Richard, my Uncle Theo, my Uncle Rory, Uncle Stanley, my Uncle Otis, and other uncles step in, and friends and family members in the community step in to help raise me to become a better person, to become the best person I chose to be. Because at the end of the day, no matter how great your parents are, you're going to choose what you want. I don't care what you are. I don't care what you do. You're going to choose. But see, you have people like this living in blackface. They have realized the YouTube algorithm, the TikTok algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, and we have been programmed towards chaos. How many times have you looked at something that was just two people having a conversation calmly? They may even disagree. I see it A. Well, I see it B. I see it heads. I see it tails. And they just have a calm conversation. We've been programmed by our dysfunction. And we've been programmed through what we've perceived as decompressing. Sports, entertainment is decompressing. So when we watch Housewives, it wouldn't be a good show if they all got along. So they create chaotic situations and they throw drinks and things of that nature. And I'm doing this with a broad reaching brush. I'm not saying all women watch Housewives and all men watch sports, but you understand. If you're watching this, you definitely understand where I'm coming from. And when you're watching sports, it went from having conversations about sports, uplifting, the athletes saying better luck next year, boy, we got a future, to this is what went wrong. All you think about is what's wrong. You have people like Skip Bayless giving you half truths, and he created narratives against our young brothers that just quite frankly aren't true. There's no such thing as a bad loser in the championship. You were good enough to box Muhammad Ali, box Joe Frazier, box Larry Holmes, box Mike Tyson. That means you did a whole lot of good things to get to that point. Now, if you were not able to defeat Michael Jordan, you're not able to defeat Tim Duncan, you're not able to defeat Kobe Bryant, or you're not able to defeat LeBron James, that's no blemish, or Steph Curry, that's no blemish against your name. That means I reached the pinnacle and I couldn't beat the greatest of all time. But we allow people like this woman right here, to tell us that it becomes being black. Being black in the United States of America is almost a synonym for negativity. Being black in America is almost a synonym for being negative in America. How can we allow people like this woman, Candace Owens, to just, oh, well, I'm going to present this fact. And guess what? The facts are the facts, man. You can't get around the truth. The truth is the truth. But why do you think black is a synonym for negativity? What are you trying to eliminate? What are you trying to eliminate when you just put the negative spotlight on everything we do and nothing positive? If black was a synonym for negativity and it was only this group of people right here who were doing good things, how is it that every day is a technological advance that HBCUs? See, why is the scientific world us now pouring money into HBCUs and tech and STEM and things of that nature? Why? Name 5 lawyers. You know what? Name 3 lawyers. I bet you can't name. I bet you none of them white come to mind. Because some of the greatest legal minds in the history of this country, right here in our community. Right here in our community. Who's synonymous with getting a celebrity out of a jam? Johnny Cochran. Bill Martin, black. There are plenty of black lawyers. One of the most famous people in the United States of America right now is a black attorney who's a lawmaker, Jasmine Crockett. But you let this lady tell you, we ain't doing nothing but not taking care of our children. We ain't doing nothing but getting high, gang banging, and doing foolishness. How is that possible? Most people who are going to watch this program don't know a whole lot of people. If you know 1,000 people, if you know 100 people, you might know 18 of them that's wayward. Whether it be participating in nefarious activities, whether it be using illegal or addicted to illegal or illegal intoxicants, whether it be alcohol or drugs, over the counter or off the corner. You don't know a whole lot of people. You can even be an addict and not know a whole lot of people getting, the people at the recovery situation that you were in. But most of the people you're around, they weren't doing that. Why you think people, I don't care what, when you talk to, I talk to my people who had substance abuse problems. You know what they say? Man, no matter how much people talk to me, I had to wait till I was ready. Well, who are those people talking to you if that's all we're doing is participating in nefarious activities? If all we do is participate in negativity, who's talking to these people who have substance abuse problems? Who's talking to these people who are subjected to abuse? Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, because we got church hurt out there too. Who are these people? Who are these people? Oh, the church ain't no good. Well, who are these people running these youth centers? Who are these people bringing these wayward people in from these addiction programs and things? And who are these people? These are people that look like you and I who get no credit for what they do. Just like I said, I'm gonna show you. I ain't even uploaded. I apologize, y'all. I'm gonna see if I could do it on the fly. But who are these people? Because if it's always one of us. That's y'all favorite line. It's always one of us. It's always one of us that's doing us. You can't trust nobody with us. But I guarantee you, within the last 7 to 10 days, somebody who part of us has helped you. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that somebody in that group that you just denigrated, that you just dismissed, that you just said ain't no good, I bet you somebody in that group helped you. I bet you they did. And even man, my favorite person in this whole community to just shake my head at is this person. That person from our community that says things like, see, that's the problem. It's always one of us doing. More white people help me, and other people from other cultures help me. I've had more problems with black people than white people. That's because people like this present you with erroneous, with half truths and no perspective. And as I said, AI. Shout out to my cousin Timmy. He know who he is. AI has dumbed you down for cognitive thinking. Me and Timmy had a disagreement by the end of the conversation. We were right on. We were right on point. We agreed with each other. See, we ain't have to act a fool and holler, scream, and cuss on the internet. He presented his facts, I presented mine, and we met in the middle and agreed and walked away. See, but we like chaos. Nobody paid attention to me and can't tell me. You ain't get no likes on that. You ain't get forget them. See, but you like people who pour negativity into the world, and so they can prop themselves up as a person who enunciates, and I'm educated, and I made a portion of my fortune off suing with the NAACP for discrimination. But I don't tell you that. Because discrimination, see, we got to start making these excuses, right? But I don't tell you how I got my bread in my pocket, because we're foolish enough to go along with these people. See, when you speak of us and all you can speak of is negativity, that lets me know that you are not genuine. This lady will be on your TV before Valentine's Day. I guarantee you. It is. What's today's day? The 19th, it is the celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. Salute to the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you for all you've done. Thank you for the King family. And thank you for everybody who's introduced me to him and introduced me to facts about him. Back to the point. This lady right here and other people, if all you can see is the negative aspects of our community, you are in that very blackface that you see right there. You are that coon, spook, jive, turkey, Negro that I'm speaking of. That's who I'm talking about, because I have a problem. I mean, hey, guess what? I have friends, I have family members, I've had, hell, I even had a person I was dating who had problems that were wayward. I'm not going to talk about what their problems were. They were wayward. You understand the term wayward. And guess what? That's their business, because they wasn't doing it when they were dealing with me. And even if they were, I was trying to uplift them. But if the only thing I can see are those people and not the literally 12, 15, 20 dozen other people that I know that are doing, who got up and go to work today, who are listening to this on the way home from work, who are listening to this on the way to work, who are working out when they're doing this. So all the negativity that people like this lady right here spews into the stratosphere, it is a farce. It is a true farce. It is a true and utter farce. Because see, the thing is, we've been trying to respect what we perceive as intellect, what we perceive as money, what we perceive as opportunity. We've been duped into basically thinking a joker in a suit is intelligent. A joker in a suit is intelligent. And is he intelligent? Is he intelligent? Or is it just simply you're engaging instead of appearing? See, engaging, women will know this more than anybody. Because when I meet women, or you always hear women on these internet things, you hear intelligent cognitive conversations. I'm speaking about not the chicken heading and screaming and yelling. I'm talking about two intelligent sisters on the screen talking about life. One thing they say is consistency. He engages. He shows up. And then what he does is present information, and he says what people need. Is that what people need, or is that what you think people need? Is that what people need, or is that what you think people need? Or that's what, from your perspective. But see, you have been so far disengaged from the community that maybe you don't even know what the community need anymore. Maybe you've never been part of the community. Because again, if you can only see what people on the corner doing, people in dark places doing, and people who are not doing right, you are not paying attention to the 90% of us that are doing right. I mean, wrong, you're not paying attention to what people are doing right. Because again, in 2013 was the last time I looked this up, but I'm quite sure it hasn't changed in 13 years. 1979, 8.9% of the population was engaged in street level nefarious activities, meaning illicit behavior, meaning intoxicants, drugs. 8.9% of the population. In 2013, it was 9.3. So it didn't even go up a whole percentage point in all that time. 78, 79, 78, 88, 98, 2008, and it was 2013. Didn't even go up a whole 1%. So I find it difficult to believe it went up a whole percent since then. So, but if you want to bring up all the negative aspects of the community, what about that other 90% of the people that were doing the right thing? They get up and go to McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, your local grocer, Walgreens, CVS, jobs that everybody ain't just embraces. The people who drive the trains, who drive the buses, who drive the school buses, who are the janitors and things of that nature. These are not less desirable positions of employment. Nobody aspires to be that, but somebody got to do it. But what about those people? What about the people who work at the Department of Public Assistance, where you get SNAP benefits and health benefits and emergency money and things of that nature? What about those people? What about the people that work at the Department of Child? What about people who work in law enforcement? What about people who do all these jobs that nobody even thinks about, but these things are being done every day? And he and others, see, this is what we need. Is that what we need? Is it what we need, sir? And what makes you the I looked at a study. You looked at a study. You looked at a study and it said we needed that, but have you engaged with us? Have you talked to Brian Williams? Have you talked to Patrick? Have you talked to Ant? Have you talked to Mo? Have you talked to Steve? Have you talked to D Great? Have you talked to these people all throughout the United States of America who are above the poverty line? Some of them under the poverty line. Nobody I named under the poverty line. Above the poverty line, under the poverty line, living it, just making it happen. Have you spoken with these people? Have you engaged with these people? Are you just appearing on TV and telling us what we need? And you a handsome brother, you got the slick suit on, you dress to the nines, you articulate and you enunciate and you get all your multisyllabic words out and you say you care. You don't care. You don't care. Because if you're not engaging in the community, how are you talking about you care about the community? You can't, if you don't engage, you don't care about a damn thing. See, a lot of people speak from limousines and Cadillacs and Mercedes and luxury vehicles and say what they want to do. Other people who do, they get out of their car, they park their car, and they do their thing. See, it's crazy or not? No, it's not. See, I grew up in one of the most dangerous cities in the United States of America. Del Bear, Chicago, Illinois. We still down. Like my man Mojo Brooks. Shout out to Mojo. Love my city. I ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. And back to the point. But what you gonna tell me how dangerous it was? Hey, I got chased home because I was wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers jacket in a rival gang neighborhood. The neighborhood I was in was blue and black. I had a black and gold. Their rival gang was black and gold. I got a black and gold jacket on. They chased me out the neighborhood and had every intentions on doing away with me because I was a former athlete. I was able to outrun them, laughing, taking off the jacket, set on the jacket, and got away with it. So don't tell me that. I have been jumped in my home neighborhood because they assumed because I was able to go to the rival gang neighborhood, I was engaged with the rival gang. So don't tell me. It used to be a point where if you wore your hat tilted to the right, it meant one thing. If it was tilted to the left, it meant something else. And people like Larry Elder and all you jackasses who watch the city of Chicago and think, oh man, this is the Wild Wild West. Where's Wider? Go say Chicago. No. It was way more dangerous in the 80s and the 90s, the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. If you disagree, since y'all love statistics so much and you don't believe anything that the common man says, go to FBI.com and look up the murders in the city of Chicago. You'll see 1972 and you see 1992, the two largest amounts of people being murdered in the history of Chicago, Illinois. 1972, I think it was 917 and 972 in the other year. Or invert them either way, it's 900 plus murders in those 2 years. And when y'all start hearing about Chicago on CNN, MSNBC, and all things, and people like Larry people like Charlamagne the Clown, and people like others, and the other lady that I just had on the screen, when they start talking about the violence in Chicago became the synonym for violence. See, I'm old enough to remember when Baltimore was synonym for violence, New York was synonym for violence, Detroit was synonym for violence. Y'all even tried to put a town, no disrespect to my brothers and sisters in Gary, Indiana, a town, and say they were the murder capital of the world. A town with about 50,000 people, and if 50 people got killed, it would throw off the balance, but that's just asinine. You know, I remember at one point, Miami was the most dangerous place in the world. I remember one point, and when Los Angeles, California, they made you believe that if you got off the plane at LAX, the Crips and Bloods may be shooting there and you'd be scared to get off. So see, when you've lived long enough to witness the foolishness and the madness and the chaos, you are smart enough to not be immersed into it. But people like this take advantage of it. So he's just engaging. He's not appearing in the community. He's not making himself available. He's not having conversations with people. I would bet anything, almost anything, that he's never had 10 conversations with people who are in financial distress or live in these urbanized communities that have been robbed of the resources and things of that nature. He's never done that because he's too afraid to do that because they are dangerous. No. You want to talk about my city, Chicago? Y'all just had the Olympics in Argentina, the murder capital of Earth. Earth, not America. Oh, by the way, just for the record, since y'all love statistics again, the most dangerous city in regards to gun violence in the United States of America, Anchorage, Alaska. Look it up. Don't trust me. Look it up. The most dangerous city in Illinois for gun violence and nefarious activity is not Chicago. Look it up. See, but you don't want to hear those things because that don't sound good, because you want to appear instead of engage. And that's why guys like this dupe y'all, because they dress like you're supposed to and they sit up, they have great posture, and they don't use slang. First of all, slang that's a whole nother show. I'm gonna talk about slang soon. They don't use urban vernacular, African American vernacular, because that's our cultural language, our cultural dialect, and you allow somebody to reduce it to gutter language, which again, this goes back to the self-hate. This goes back to, we have to stop doing that, because if we were so bad, why are you imitating us? Well, back to this bozo and bozos like this, like my man Dr. Greg Carr. Shout out to Karen Hunter, Dr. Greg Carr. The insane clown posse that we call the United States federal government, insane clown posse that I call these black folks that want to live in blackface, but really want to be white, engaging. Look, guess what? Your non-racist white friends don't see what you see in us, you bozo. But back to this. Just because he sit there and he got the great teeth and he's a handsome brother and he's dressed to the nines and he's robust and he's saying, hey, I'm this guy and I have money. See, again, do you want acceptance or do you want equality? See, because when you get 50 cents, you move on over to cross the street. Oh, it's better over here. No, it ain't. It's just, you used to look down on the people over here and the people over there look down on you, you bozo. But this is what we deal with. We believe people who say they engage with us, they love us. See, I'm just looking out for the betterment of the people. Okay. You're looking out for the betterment of the people. How many times have you taught an African American studies or history class? How many times did you take that during your academic experience? How many times have you read things by James Baldwin, W. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X? How many? Oh, you love Dr. King? You really love Dr. King? How many passages out of the book Community of Chaos have you engaged in? Yeah, that's a hell of a book by Dr. King. How much James Baldwin have you read? How much information about Fannie Lou Hamer do you have? Do you know who Addie Malone is? You don't know those people, then you don't love black people because you ain't even paying attention to these people. What do you know about Malcolm X besides he was in the nation? He used to talk a lot and he went to jail. How much do you know about Dr. King? How much do you know about Elcher Cleaver? How much do you know about A. Philip Brando? How much do you know about these people that you swear to love? But you don't, because it's not a profit in speaking at this tone that I'm speaking in, presenting facts and uplifting people without hate, without denigration, without chaos, because we're addicted to chaos. You ain't addicted to chaos? Look at your algorithm on YouTube. You ain't got to go to Facebook, because Facebook give you what you get. Want go to your YouTube algorithm. And if you got chaos within the first 5 things, that means you're looking at too much chaos. That means you're addicted to it. Pull away from it for a little while. Pull away from it for a little while and see what happens. That's the problem. We are addicted to chaos. We want hate. We want denigration. Why are we consistently showing a video of a young lady in Minnesota getting gunned down? Why are we not, why are we not engaging with our Congress, engaging with our state representatives, engaging with our governors, and getting things reset to what you perceive was normal? Because even our normal wasn't normal. But people like him speak, and then they tell you racism don't exist, discrimination don't exist. We care about people. You care about people. You really care about people? Okay. Let's look into this. You care about people. You disagree with things like the aborting of a child or of a fetus, the termination of a pregnancy. I don't want to get into any conversation like that. Termination of a pregnancy, but you want to do away with public assistance. You want to do away with SNAP benefits. You want black women are dying at the highest rate in the history of the United States of America, and pre and postnatal care or during birth. They're giving birth and terminating. So these women who you forced to have this child are no longer here, and it leaves the child. Now what does that do? They put the child at a deficit, emotional, physically responsible deficit, irresponsible deficit. You don't want to help people after they get here, but you want to make sure they get here. You believe you pro-life, but you have never put money into health you want to take away health care from everybody in the United States of America, which it should be free, and first and foremost should be free to go into any a medical facility in the United States of America, get medical treatment and go. But you're pro-life. You're pro-human rights. You're not pro anything. You pro-capitalist. And if you black and you're a capitalist, I have to look at you strange, that you used to be capitalized on, you damn fool. Fixing yourself is in direct opposition of that God you pray to, whether it's Jehovah Jireh, whether it's God, or whether it's Allah. They all say work together, but I could get mine. So you immediately sin. But hey, I love the sinner, not the sin. See, I try to follow the book, not book. But you want to tell me that you're here and you're just appearing. You're not appearing. You're not engaging. You're appearing. You're appearing. Oh, well, what have I done? Well, guess what? I have done things. I'll give you a couple of them out. Fed 200 people on Juneteenth program at my church. I made the suggestion we start feeding elders at my church. Yeah, I had people on this very podcast send in me money and send packages to my church to feed the elders at my church. So I engage. So, it's easy to say, hey, man, what have you done? Yeah, because that's the easy way out, right? All you doing is talking. Yeah, I know. But I'm not denigrating. I see the beauty in everybody on history of the earth. Yeah, I do. If you've shown anything in beauty, I'm gonna see it. But first and foremost, I see the beauty in my people, my tribe, my culture. Which brings us to, is the money worth it? Is the money worth it? Is the money worth your soul? This gentleman right here, the most unqualified individual I've ever seen on television. I usually end my show with something positive, but I'm not doing that today. Well, actually, I am going to do it today because I'm gonna dump on this clown, and then I'm gonna transition to something that's beautiful. about us. But this bozo right here, this dude is the biggest stepping, fetch it, coon, bootlicking jackass I've ever seen in my life. His name is Stephen A. Smith. He is the dictionary definition of what we don't need our young men to grow up to be. He brags about how much clothes he got. I'm from the streets of Holland Springs, New York. I can fill a stadium and all this nonsense, but he attacks Jasmine Crockett, but has nothing negative to say about the Republican Party. I'm not going to say any individual, because that individual that everybody want to point the finger at, he's not the problem. It's the people behind him pulling the strings. But we don't want to even see past that. He going to run for president. I wouldn't vote for this dude to be the damn dog catcher. The damn dog catcher, y'all. He's not qualified for anything. He's not qualified for any damn thing in the United States of America, not even the people that pay him. He attacked Joy-Ann Reid. He attacked Jasmine Crockett and said, come up to me and say it. But when LeBron James came up to you and said it, he didn't do anything demonstrative to you. He didn't poke you in your chest. He didn't poke you in your forehead. He didn't lean over you and let you know he was a towering figure, a physical specimen that could physically destroy you if he liked. But you went on a tirade for a month. You went to Gilbert show. You went to everybody's show who will have your ass on it. And you denigrated our brother when he did exactly what you said. Stepped to you, had a person-to-person conversation with you. No one had to know what that was about. You could have kept it to yourself and left it alone. But you chose to bring it to the public and exploit it, and hopefully you can get some money by boss. You are the only clown that I've ever seen. Clown. You're not a man. You're a midget. You're a mental imp. And you stand in front of us every day and you denigrate our people. I had people tell me that I was a coon when I identified what you were 20 years ago. I sound like you a hater. Yes, I was a hater. I hate anybody denigrating my people. I hate anybody creating chaos. I hate anybody putting forward falsehoods about my folks. You damn right. I hate it. And I don't hate you. I hate your ways. See, folks, this is what happens when you make money your God. You write a book and you put in your book, every day I wake up and figure out how to make boss some money. This is a quote, my boss some money, and see how I could get some. Do you see how ass backward that is? I figure out a way to make somebody else some money, and then I think about how I can get a cut. If that ain't the most corner boy, new gym shoe kid, y'all know those corner boys, new gym shoes people are, mentality I've ever heard in my life. If you can pay me $100 million, business says I've made you $1 billion, or at least $500 million. If you can pay me $100 million, I've made you $500 million. If you don't believe it, I worked at a place when I got pushed to 6 figures. It was August 24th of this year. I remember when I got that increase in pay, and I immediately said, okay, how do I maintain this? I had made that company $4 million that year, and they were giving me a piddly $120K. Hookers get a better hit than that. So when you sit around and figure out how to make somebody else money, and then you can get you a cut, you're already thinking backward. So he sits out and attacks Joy-Ann Reid. He sits out and he attacks Jasmine Crockett and anything else that is pro or positive black. And he disguises himself just like a lot of these bootlicking jackasses on the internet talking about their conservatives. Newsflash, dummies. You know nothing about your people, black people, immersed, over-indexed in the Lord, which ain't a bad thing, whether it be Islam. Some of us are even Jewish, and Christianity are the 3 overarching faiths in our community. So check 1, fiscally responsible. Hell, I can't be fiscally responsible if I don't have the financial aptitude to do that. So, but we don't over-index. A lot of us don't over-index on chaos. You don't go into people's houses and see mink couches and stupid behind stuff like that. You don't see that in our community. Yes, we do. We are a stylish people. We are a flamboyant people, but when you push people into the mud for decades, for centuries, yes, when they come up, they're going to show you you could defeat me. And that's why a lot of that stuff manifests. But most of us don't even participate in that. Most of us are not walking around with gold chains and gaudy watches and things of that nature and flamboyant purses. Most of us are walking around extremely conservative. Most of us don't even agree with abortion. Most of us want to, the vast majority of us just work hard, keep our nose to grindstone, because that's who we are and that's what we come from. And I don't mean no damn Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the other southern states. I'm talking about from when God created us. So when you have jackasses like this who are encouraging people to put down everything that God put into you so you can make boss some money and get you a piece, no, you need to do what you have to do to survive, and hopefully you can carve out a niche for yourself. Everybody's not meant to be in ownership and leadership. So guess what? Some of us are worker bees, and that's, hey, ain't nothing wrong with being a worker bee, because there's some people right now that's watching this that are worker bees, and they living very comfortable, and they either have a great pension that they're sitting on, they have a great place of employment that they're sitting on, or they've done something at work today to enhance their lives. God bless you. Continue nothing but bliss and blessings in your life. But the people who aspire to be greater than that, what I want you to understand is the way is not to sell us out and talk negatively about us and put us in a trick bag. See, this is where people like him fail us. This is where people like him fail us, because the money is not worth your soul. The money is not worth your soul. This is not part of God's plan to put you in a horrible situation. You are made to be great, and your greatness may be different from mine. Your greatness may be different from mine. You know, people who really are great, they participate in greatness. These are the kinds of people that you'll see on the screen, like A. Philip Randolph. See, he ain't had to be there. Fannie Lou Hamer, people who gave their lives and worked their entire lives to be this. People like Ralph Bunche and Whitney Young. These are the people that you need, even if you're an artist like Gil Scott-Heron. You listen to his music, he uplifting our people. When you take people like another artist, Nina Simone. See, these are the people who you need to be talking about, need to be in office, need to be doing things that make our lives better and greater, because they are not here to denigrate and destroy us. They're here to make us look great. The great mind of Nikki Giovanni. See, we don't have to denigrate the aforementioned James Baldwin. We don't have the renegade spirit of Angela Davis, the renegade spirit of a Fred Hampton. These people are the people we need to be trying to be, instead of trying to be like buffoons like the dude who's on the screen before us. See, when you talk about renegade, when you talk about revolution, these are the people that we need to be trying to be like. A lot of people talk that revolutionary trash, but these are the people behind me who live that revolutionary life. They dedicated their lives to the enhancement of our people, the engagement of our people, and the uplifting and pushing forward of our people. So money ain't the key. Money helps money helps in just about every situation in the history of the world. Money make it a little better. So I ain't sitting on here talking about, you don't need no money, man. Money ain't, no. Money helps, but money ain't it. People, God put people here. He didn't put a person here. He put people here. And when he put people in here, those people are to love your brother as you would love the Christ. Love your wife as you would love, as Christ loved the church. Love your husband as Christ loved the church. Love your brother as you love yourself. And if you participate in rugged individualism and that ain't on me, that's on him, then that's cool for you. But the people I'm going to surround myself, and I would love and hope and pray that you surround yourself with people who care about other people. And when you care about other people, you will not allow people to suffer around you. You will not only see the negative aspect of anybody or anywhere or anyone. You will see the positivity in your community. You'll see the positivity and the potential in your city, your county, your state, the country, and the rest of the world. You will not only see the worst part of who and what we are. And if that's all you see, then I understand. I don't have to heaven or hell to put you in. I'm not here to judge you. But I'm asking, is it a better way? And if it's a better way, why don't you try it? With that being said, I'm Brian, HRap B. Williams. 2 fingers, 1 word. See you soon. As a matter of fact, tap in later on. If you subscribe, you can tap in later on. You can see the forecast. I'll be on there too.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why